right? Macam honesty is the most important aspect in this sense, because macam you have got to be honest with your future spouse, right, about your kemampuan, and then she or he has to do the same, and then we try to be honest with our families, with pihak-pihak yang involved also.
And to yourself.
And the most important part
Yeah.
is being honest with yourself. Kadang
Yeah.
kita macam bolehkan, ya kan, tapi where do I stand? What is my kemampuan? What is my capacity? And if you don't start to be honest with yourself before the wedding preparation, through the wedding preparation, then how do you expect yourself to be honest when you are already embarking on that marriage ke apa lah?
Well, your one-stop solutions.
This talk show is sponsored by your trusted realtor, Agent Seth. He has assisted many of his home sellers achieve record sales in quick time. So do contact him at 938-7258, 938-7258, or simply drop him an Instagram DM at Agent Seth, AGENTSESTH, for a free, non-obligatory consultation if you intend to explore your housing options.
Assalamualaikum, we are back. Tadi kita punya episod 1, episod 2 macam terfikir tak ada intro korang betul-betul pun.
Tak apa.
Macam inilah.
Betul. Kita redha je.
Okay.
Ni antara kawan-kawan yang masya-Allah, kawan-kawan baik lah. Baik ke? InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. Baik.
Baik.
Adakah kawan ni baik?
Baik.
Cool. So Ustazah Hidayah on the right, furthest right. Right tadi kita keluaring. So ni Ustazah Faiqah. Mungkin tak baru nampak sangat, tapi dia nampak orang lah. Orang nampak dia mungkin tak nampak.
Yang penting dia nampak.
Yang penting saya nampak.
Takut dia tak nampak jatuh. Okay, so back to this episode. Episode ni nak menerangkan moral of the entire topic. So kita dah mencicil, lama-lama dah bual, mesti nak kena berangkumi kan, apa kebaikan dan apa maksud kita nak keluarkan daripada topik ni. Tu macam mencicil je, kompang-kompang, orang bawa balik, tahu pasal kompang je. Apa benda?
Apa?
So ni about moral lah. So antara ayat-ayat ataupun sources yang kita boleh tengok, antaranya surah Al-A'raf. It was mentioned wakulu washrabu wala tusrifu innahu la yuhibbul musrifin. Dan ada hadis juga mention apa hadis dia? Tengah fikir. Tak apa, kita tengok, kita refer je. Kulu washrabu wa tasaddaqu wal basu fi ghairi israfin wala makhilah. Okay, ni aku timbak aja. Yang syarahkan, yang explainkan, silakan Ustazah.
Silakan. Tak adalah syarah.
Tak adalah.
Kita share je.
Explain je.
So, nak baca satu-satu tadi. Kulu apa?
Allah. Nak baca kulu. Okay lah, kulu.
Kalau kulu, it's eat.
Okay. Washrabu.
Drink.
Watasaddaqu.
Give charity.
Walbasu.
Wear clothes.
Fi ghairin israfin.
But with neither
Wala makhilah.
extravagance nor pride. Okay, so makanlah, minumlah, berbelanjalah, pakailah pakaian, okay, tapi dengan dua syarat, okay, tak boleh ada pride, iaitu what is pride in
Sombong.
perasaan sombong,
sombong.
and extravagance tu berlebih-lebihan. So point dekat sini yang kita nak share adalah yes, walimah tu adalah satu majlis yang seumur hidup insya-Allah sekali lah kan kita nak lakukan.
Amin, sekali je.
Tapi at the same time kita tak nak berlebih-lebihan. Jadi how do we ensure that kita tak fall into this category of berlebih-lebihan? Okay. So for me personally, I think there are three components to this lah. So untuk kita tidak berlebih-lebihan dalam walimah. Jadi macam mana kita nak ensure yang kita tak jatuh, dalam this pit of berlebih-lebihan? Number one is financially speaking, of course you need to have your budgeting, right? Bila sebut walimah, okay, what is the amount that you personally is able to fork out, and your bakal husband pun able to fork out. So for example lah, okay, you letak budget 30,000 for example, or 20,000 for the walimah itself, right? I know of a person yang memang dia dah letak budget awal-awal pun. Jadi apa pun dia takkan go beyond this 20,000 for example. So kalau orang macam contoh ada family nak tokok tambah apa-apa pun dalam majlis tu, she would apa tu? Kenapa? She would ensure that dia tak burst budget this 20,000 ni. Okay. So first thing first, of course, proper budgeting. You have to sit down, you have to calculate the numbers together with your partner. When you pergi survey and all this, right? You would be able to see all the figures, right? And then kalau you have that 2 years timeline during tunang, all this would allow you more time to actually do the proper financial budgeting. Kenapa muka Ustazah Hidayah macam tu?
Bersalah katnya.
Ya, itulah. Ya, so number one, of course, kita tak nak berlebihan, kita nak kena have that figure lah. Kalau kita tak ada have that figure pun in the first place, then how would you know that you already bursting your pocket and bayar, end up you actually don't have anything left inside your bank. Okay. And then the second component is to differentiate between the what is a need and also what is a want in your walimah.
Kalau tak payah kompang, jangan kompang lah.
Kalau tak mampu, kalau tak mampu kompang, then
Mungkin
tak perlu.
1 CD je.
Ataupun baju kan. Baju kalau tak payah sampai 3 helai, 2 helai pun okey je kan. Macam tu tak orang.
Yang penting pakai baju lah.
Yang penting pakai baju. Yang penting nampak macam pengantin lah. Betul lah.
Takut juga.
Takut waiter tu nak pakai lagi lawa.
Jangan. Entah. Risau. And also to differentiate between your own wants and your family wants. Sebab kadang you nak benda lain, tapi nanti kadang yelah family
Tokok
nak
tambah.
benda lain kan. But apa pun kalau you can compromise, like I mentioned, I know of this person, she wants something else but her family wants something else kan. So but she is able to compromise because she has that figure calculated. So macam pada dia, okay, kalau I have to compromise my wants tak apa, I have to put forward my family-nya wants tak apa, tapi because it's still within her budget, so she's okay with it. So again, the wants and needs to be dengan your partner tu nak kena clear lah. You dengan your partner nak apa dulu. Then after that you mention lah, then you go back to your own families, right? And then you discuss and then you come back to
Boleh
your families.
sampuk sikit?
Boleh, sila. Jangan sampuk. Takut.
Dah maghrib ni.
Itulah dia.
Tadi cakap the point on your family wants and your wants. To me, kalau you have the capacity untuk masukkan whatever your family referring to your mak cakap, bapak cakap kan, I seriously feel you should. Because when you say your family wants, you are referring to your parents kan. And nak cakap pasal majlis ni, memang majlis ni you ada queen and king. King and queen. Tapi
Sama.
Masya Allah sama. Tapi majlis ni actually is a family. It's a family majlis also. So at the same time jaga jugalah perasaan and inputs daripada orang tua, because this is their majlis as well. Walaupun bukan diorang yang menikah, tapi ni anak puteri dan puteri dan putera mereka yang menikah. So if you have the capacity to do so in terms of budgeting, in terms of you are okay. Macam bukanlah dorang macam nak kena ada Bollywood punya dance lah. Tak, dorang tak minta yang macam itu, okay lah. So within the shout, within the budget, okay, by all means, I think I seriously feel you should. Silakan.
Patah balik okay. Yeah, so that was the first 2 points, and the third point is actually to know yourself better lah. Sebab I think bila it comes to walimah, kadang we are influenced by there's a lot of influences. It can be that ada expectations. Sometimes ada expectations of what is majlis is all about, and then ataupun social media. But at the end of the day, again, knowing what works best for you. So again, kita pun tak cakap yang kita nak kena within our means, so semua benda tak boleh pula kan. But if you have the kelebihan, right, then you want to spend on that special day, then by all means lah, right, because you have that capacity, right. Kita pun in Islam, again going back to the hadith that was mentioned just now, it doesn't necessarily mean that okay, kalau kita ada kelebihan kita nak kena simpan semua kelebihan. Tapi bila kita menunjukkan kelebihan yang kita ada maybe through the majlis, Okay, it is also a form of us coming closer to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala,
Betul.
because we are kita tengah menunjukkan yang apa yang kita ada ni adalah daripada Allah. Tapi dia punya syarat dia dekat situ lah. Kita tak boleh ada pride dalam hati kita. Kalau kita nak, bukan setakat walimah je, kan, kalau kita nak drive kereta BMW ke, kan, kita nak bawa Merc ke, kita nak kompang ke, kan, kita punya kereta yang apa, yang
Apa tu?
yang walk in dengan kita bukan kereta
Kereta
motor.
walk in
Itu majlis lain. Itu biasa kat bawah blok ada kereta.
Expo.
Itu yang bakar ke? Bukan.
Kereta yang bawa pengantin, kata pengantin lah.
kereta.
Nak gah bagaimana pun
Okay
boleh je lah, okey je sebenarnya. Tapi again, it goes back to why you want to have that. It goes back to the intention. Kalau intention you memang, this brings me back to Allah, this reminds me that segala apa yang I ada ni, yang saya ada ni adalah kelebihan daripada Allah, then by all means. Tapi kalau kita sekadar nak menunjuk, then that it is prohibited lah, dan kita mengambil langkah berhati-hati.
Menunjuk in the sense macam aku mampu ni. Kau ada macam itu. Perangai
Kau
macam
ada kompang gitu.
Kompang je kot. Macam gaduh dia besar tau.
If I can add on some more points would be, I think macam the whole idea to the points that you shared is being honest lah. Right, macam honesty is the most important aspect in this sense, because macam you have got to be honest with your future spouse, right, about your kemampuan, and then she or he has to do the same, and then we try to be honest with our families, with pihak-pihak yang involved also,
and to yourself.
and the most important part is being honest with yourself. Kadang kita macam bolehkan, ya kan, tapi where do I stand? What is my kemampuan? What is my capacity? And if you don't start to be honest with yourself before the wedding preparation, through the wedding preparation, then how do you expect yourself to be honest when you are already embarking on that marriage ke apa lah. So again, as much as ada banyak challenges when it comes to marriage preparation and things like that, wedding preparation ke apa, at the end of the day, you have got to tell yourself that this is only a teaser to what's going to happen later. It's only a teaser before your experiences of marriage. So this is where you start to not just be honest with yourself, but you start to see what kind of person you are. You start to see your flaws. You start to see how can I make myself better through this process, so that it will only bear better fruits later on lah. So that will be one. Another thing is I can share. I actually found this definition quite beautiful lah on moderation in our religion. Soalnya kan macam moderation tu macam kita tak boleh berlebihan and things like that, right? Yes. Additionally, I found this definition to be beautiful. It says moderation in religion means that we do not exaggerate and go beyond the limits that Allah has set, and at the same time, we do not neglect and go below the limit that has been set by Allah SWT. So it's always a concern macam, I'm going beyond, I'm exaggerating, I am doing more than it should. But what about doing what is enough? What about doing what has been set by Allah SWT? I think that is beautiful. And of course, the best template to look at would be the Prophet SAW. And if you try to apply definition to the Prophet SAW, the whole idea is I want to do as much as the Prophet SAW did, but exaggeration means doing beyond what the Prophet did. And then neglecting is doing lesser than what the Prophet SAW did. So I think that when I read that, that was very beautiful. Kan? Macam at the end of the day, again, your why. At the end of the day, your intention. At the end of the day, we try to look at our best example, which is the Prophet SAW. And again, when you are, doing the walimah, you nikah, you get married and things like that, the whole purpose should be Allah SWT. And when your purpose is set correctly, right, although kita ada macam-macam challenges along the way, but insyaAllah Allah SWT will be there to intervene in the process and to help you. Macam challenges will still be there, pressure will still be there, maybe family masih nak ni, family masih nak tu, you nak ikut sunnah tapi macam ni macam tu. But at the end of the day, when you have that right intentions lah, insyaAllah Allah bantu lah. Yeah, don't stress.
Tadi nak cakap pasal points yang Faiqah mentioned. Yang ini untuk is okay untuk menunjukkan apa yang Allah telah beri. Apa tu? Allah telah rezeki susah betul nak cakap ada braces ni. telah rezekikan kepada kamu, tapi jangan sampai your niat tu, oh aku ni lebih bagus daripada kau, sebab tu aku ada ni kau tak ada kan. Tak ada macam itu. That I think boleh apply not only during majlis ataupun berkenaan dengan perkahwinan. Dekat mana-mana pun boleh kan. Mana-mana it applies to all stages of your life. Sama ada materialistik ataupun sama ada ilmu pun. So contohnya macam now you are able to buy a private property. Contohlah. Macam then you should buy lah. You should buy. But then niat tu macam mana? Tak ada kena dengan nikah pun. Ataupun now tiba-tiba dah dapat masters. Lepas tu nak ambil PhD. Now you can.
Maybe
Now I can?
kena
Now
ada
you
5
can.
years gap lah.
Betul.
Start PS.
I know I can.
Sampai dulu.
Okay.
I'm not talking about you. Why ni?
Kita terasa.
Terasa?
Ya, ya.
Macam Allah telah rezekikan kepada
Betul.
kamu yang
Then you take up that opportunity lah.
you
that
can
Allah
take up that
beri.
opportunity. Tapi bukan cakap, oh aku ambil ni, aku dapat graduate masters ni, aku boleh masuk PhD ni because aku lebih bagus daripada kau. Itu dah salah kan. So it involves, it can be applied to both material stuff and also non-material.
It's a blessing. It's an opportunity that
Betul.
Allah has given you. So you ambil.
Tapi jangan
But also you realize that opportunities and blessings, it is also a test in itself.
Betul.
So macam that is where, okay, I want to take up this opportunity. I want to practice whatever blessing that Allah SWT has given me, but also remind yourself that it's a test. And how can I, maneuver through this test accordingly. So macam when you understand it's a test, you take care of yourself. At the same time, you know that you are being rewarded as you go on that journey lah. Yeah. So being mindful, important.
So before I close this episode, which also marks to close the entire series, sedih pula perpisahan pertemuan kita di suatu hari. Okay, lepas tu nak cakap lah. So nak cakap pasal walimah ni ataupun majlis perkahwinan ni, it definitely requires minimally 5 figures. Let's be realistic. Of course, it depends on the venue and depends on the packs. But sikit sebanyak, it will touch 5 figures. Sekarang punya keadaan. Dan kita dah tahu that itself dah merangkumi such figures. Jangan sampai kita melebihi. Dan tadi kita dah cakap pasal extravagance, kita dah cakap pasal excess. Because kita dah cakap on the previous series about hutang. Ni perkahwinan ni ataupun permulaan perkahwinan ni is a start of your barakah. Sebab tu bila perkahwinan, orang the wish untuk kita kasih kat the queen and the king apa? Allah. Continue lah.
Sampai situ je.
Situ je, okay. Barakallahu lakuma wa baraka alaikuma wa jama'a bainakuma fi khair. Starting barakallahu lakuma, blessings to both of you kan. So macam tak make sense kalau kita nak start blessing tu dengan perkara yang dikeji. Bukan nak kata hutang tu tak boleh, tapi kalau boleh janganlah. Tapi regardless whether is hutang ataupun perkara-perkara yang tak dibenarkan bila majlis tu, elakkan, because this is the start of your barakah. Then this is not a short term thing. Mana ada orang kahwin lagi 2 tahun mesti dah stop. Tak ada. It's a long term journey. Sebab tu orang kata sampai ke jannah lah, sampai ke jannah. Amin. Walaupun belum lagi, but amin lah. Amin. So benda tu long term. Long term macam bukan long term pun, sampai ke akhir hayat, sampai ke lepas akhir hayat pun. Kan? Jadi berwaspadalah. Akhir kata daripada korang?
Sila.
Sila.
Akhir kata.
Ila liqa'i.
Ukur apa pada baju sendiri?
Ukur niqab.
Ukur apa?
Ukur baju pada badan sendiri. Bukan baju sendiri. Ukur baju pada badan sendiri.
Begitulah. Okay. I mean, you have to know yourself better. At the end of the day, it's you. And like he mentioned, it's the start of a new journey. And being in a debt is huge on its own. And you wouldn't want to start that journey dengan hutang lah. You want to start with a clean slate and and enjoy that process moving forward lah. InsyaAllah.
Last words to add on to yang tadi
Last word macam seram sangat. Last words.
You never know.
Allah.
Okay.
Tak
Okay.
apalah,
But adding
laki
on
kau di
lah
sini.
to the mention of barakah dan sebagainya, right? I think at the end of the day, if you know that you want to attain that barakah, then the means of attaining that barakah is something that you have to reconsider and really take care of. At the end of the day, what are your intentions and how can you move forward to actually achieve the intentions that you have made at the beginning lah. And again, going into any nikah, walimah and things like that, always remember to prepare your marriage as much as you are trying to prepare for your wedding.
Allah. Selamat. Okay. So,
Okay.
berwaspadalah. And kita ni sebenarnya nak cakap lebih-lebih, kita orang takut. For me, I scared.
Sebelum kan.
Macam belum. Kalau aku dapat isteri macam, aku nak 20,000. Pasal aku, okay.
All the best.
Aku macam, okay, nak berapa? Okay.
Play balik video ni.
But kita doakanlah masing-masing
Okay,
sama one another. InsyaAllah kita punya journey towards walimah, towards pernikahan ni dipermudahkan. Allahumma amin. We see you in the next series. Tak tahu lagi apa. Belum plan lagi next series. Tak tahu.
Kita
Kenapa
ada.
kita ada?
Tak tahu ada ke tak ada, tak tahu lah. Nanti kita fikirkan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.